I'm Judy Zelina. This is the Millcreek Government Channel, and you are going to enjoy today's show. We are out here filming at beautiful Presque State Park. So join me as we talk to some of the staff members and learn what programs they have in the works for this year's spring and summer season. John Laskos is joining us today, and John is going to talk to us about a relatively newer program that I find very exciting and very interesting. John, what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about the Presque State Park's Adopt a Beach program.
How long ago, or when did this get implemented?
It first started in the spring of 2011.
Okay. How did it come about?
I had come to work one day a little on the early side, so I decided to take a walk on the beach to kill some time in the morning and enjoy a cup of coffee on the beach. And I went to a certain beach on the park, and when I got out of my car and walked to the beach, I was very dismayed by what I saw. There was debris and garbage and sandwich wrappers and plastic bottles all over the beach. And I thought to myself, is what the beach is going to look like on a Monday morning after a busy weekend? That's terrible. I took pictures of what I found and went to management, and we had a discussion about what to do about this.
Okay.
Typically, the maintenance crew will have gotten to that before visitors come during the day, and most people don't get to see what I saw. But we decided to try a new program, and we were going to call it Adopt a Beach. And we did this with the partnership of the Alliance for the Great Lakes. The Alliance for the Great Lakes is instrumental in providing me with material in order to conduct these cleanups. They send me kits to use for volunteers to come down on the park to help clean up the beaches.
Okay. John, you pointed back to this poster board back here. There are a lot of items. There's this wheel, this pie chart. Tell our viewers a little bit about what this signifies and why you made this.
I made this to show people that about 25% or so, 25 to 30% of the litter we find on the park is cigarette butts. That's our #1 piece of debris that we find on the park. About another quarter or so is plastic fragments, pieces, shards of plastic, pieces of plastic toys, plastic utensils. And then a lot more of it is bottle caps and restaurant type of things like straws and bottle caps, candy wrappers. And then a new, relatively newer item that we're seeing show up on the beaches is cigar tips. But collecting this data every month helps the Alliance for the Great Lakes determine where it's coming from. And then once we know where it's coming from, we can figure out a way to prevent it.
Okay, so these are some of the things we find on the beach. Now, adopting a beach, how would somebody go about doing this? Do you have to have a whole group? Do you have X amount number of people, or how does that work?
It's best to have a group of at least 4 or 5 people. I have groups as large as 20 or 30 people.
Okay.
The best way to get involved is to call the park office at 833-7424. Leave your name and information so that I can get in contact with you, and we will arrange for you to come out either every Saturday, every second Saturday of every month from May to October.
Okay.
Or we can arrange a one-time beach cleanup for your small group.
How successful has this been?
It's been very successful.
I can imagine.
The numbers have increased. This past year, 2016 was a record year for us as far as the amount of debris that we picked up.
Okay.
And that's a good thing, and it's also kind of sad too. We're not trying to be proud of all this garbage we're picking up.
No, I think what you want to do is educate the people,
Right.
the visitors to the park, to educate them that you know, if you bring it, take it with you.
Right, exactly.
And I think that's so important. And since we're on the beach, people just forget kind of those rules and those courtesies, correct?
I do, and it's human nature, but we also want to point out that anyone visiting the park, if you want to stop down at the Tom Ridge Environmental Center on your way down to the park, we'll gladly give you garbage bags to help. If you forgot one or you need a garbage bag, we'll give you a garbage bag.
Okay. John, thank you. This is a great program. Viewers, this is a way for you to help participate in keeping Presque Isle clean and just, you know, more visually clean, and just so we can enjoy our
The whole point is
natural
enjoying the resources.
Yeah, that's
it.
right. So, okay, thank you so much, John.
You're welcome.
Great program.
Thank you.
Presque Isle is a great place to bring families. There are so many family events. Here today to talk about actually family camping is Emily Hauser. So Emily, it's so good to see you again.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for coming out.
It's always funny, and you've always got an interesting program.
Yes.
Family camping, can people camp out here at
Sure.
Presque Isle?
So actually, camping is not permitted on Presque Isle State Park. We are considered a day use only park, so we
Okay.
don't have any camping facilities, and people do have to be off of the facility by a certain time at night. However, many state parks do offer camping, and there's of course camping in the local area. So one program that we offer every summer, and this summer it's going to be in August, is our family camping program. Now this is an opportunity for first-time campers to kind of get their feet wet if they're not sure if, you know, tent camping is for them, if they don't have all the equipment. This is a program and an opportunity for those people, individuals, families, to come out to Presque Isle State Park for 2 nights and camp with our environmental educators.
Where on the park do they usually set up?
Typically, it is on Beach 11 area, so a very family-friendly area.
Okay.
Playground there, lots of open space. Of course, in the summer, you're going to have your restroom facilities, the beach facilities right there. So you have some comforts of home, you know, if this is your first sort of introduction into camping, and you're not far off the beaten path. But like I said, you spend the night outside on Presque Isle, which is something, you know, like I mentioned, you cannot do, but in this program we make the exception, and it's an amazing opportunity.
That sounds like fun. Emily, of course, always has a lot of props.
Yes.
One thing I see is a tent. Do I need to bring a tent?
Yeah, so we do provide some
I
of
would
the
bring a tent.
Yes, we do provide some of the equipment for the family camping program. One thing that we do provide is a tent if you need it. Of course, you can bring your own, but we have plenty. And our tents range in size from the small one we have here that would hold maybe 2, 3 if you want to get comfortable, up until larger tents. So you do not have to provide that. We will. We do ask people to bring their own sleeping bags, blankets, pillows, whatever comforts that you want inside your tent. We ask you to bring that.
Okay. I see sort of like a mat, like almost like a yoga mat, but it's a little bit thicker.
Yes.
It looks like a thick, nice yoga mat.
Yep. So
what is that for?
These mats here, these are considered camping mats. So this is something that you would lay out and sleep on top of. That's going to put the protection between you and the rocks and the sticks underneath you. We do have a few of these to borrow for our family campers.
Okay.
However, of course, you can also provide your own.
Okay. All right, these other items we have, tell us a little bit about these, and is this something that I should be bringing?
Yes. So one of the benefits of this family camping program is that we provide all of the food, and you will eat well while you're here with us.
Well, okay.
We will introduce you to some of the more traditional camping foods, but we will make sure that you get enough. So some of the traditional ones, of course, we have here a pie iron. So this is to make what I like to call mountain pies. This opens up, you can put bread in there, and you fill that bread in with just about anything. If you're wanting dessert, you fill it in with some pie filling. If you want some pizza, you put a little pizza sauce in there, your favorite toppings, close it up, stick it over the fire. It cooks itself in just a few minutes, and you have a wonderful hot meal.
So I don't have to bring
You
this
do
because,
not have to
because
bring these.
guess what? I don't have one.
Yes, and you do not have to do any of the cooking either. That's
All
what
right.
the environmental educators are doing.
Okay.
We will cater to you. We will provide all of the food, all of the equipment for cooking it, and we will cook it for you.
Okay, so you got food. I see this is something that everyone should bring.
Yes, you should bring your own bug spray because, of course, being out in nature, bugs can be bothersome, and so we do recommend bug spray for this event.
Okay, and we may see some creatures.
We may, yes, because we are going to be out here all day and all night. That brings a wonderful opportunity to see a lot of the different sites of Presque Isle.
Because that is a different side of Presque Isle, the evening hours,
It
isn't
is,
it?
yes, and that is when things quiet down here as far as the human activity, but the animal world sort of wakes up. And during this family camping program, you're going to be camping, but you're also going to be experiencing a lot of different activities. And one of those will be a night hike. And so on a night hike, of course, out here in Presque Isle, you have the opportunity to see, lots of different animals.
That would be fun.
Yeah, 2 of them I brought with me today just to sort of highlight. We have our coyotes, and of course, coyotes tend to be nocturnal. And so the opportunity to hear them at night howling might be something that this program affords you. And then, of course, we always add in owls.
Always.
Everybody loves owls and owls hiking. So we'll go out, keep your ears open, and maybe you will get treated to listening to one of their hoots.
This is great. This sounds like a great idea. But now, how can somebody sign? Do you have to sign up for
You
this?
do have
and
to
how,
sign it.
How would we sign up to
Yes.
join in this?
So in the summer, you will see our program flyers coming out. Family camping this year is going to happen in August, and so start looking forward to the beginning of July to be advertised.
All right.
Call into the park, let them know you're interested, or go online and you can register online for this too. There is a small fee associated with this to cover the cost of the food.
Right.
However, like I said, it's going to be 2 nights and 3 full days of really fun activities here out at Presque Isle.
Great idea.
Yes.
Great idea. Viewers, you got to join them. So check out their website, look for the flyer. But the website is so user-friendly.
It is, yes.
It really is. And the website is?
You can either go into DCNR,
Okay.
our website, or also check out the Tom Ridge Environmental Center website,
Okay.
trekpi.org. And both of those websites have linked to get you to our calendar of events.
Okay. Emily, thank you so much for joining us again. More interesting information.
Yes, yeah, we look forward to a really fun summer out here.
It will be. It'll be fun. There are always new programs being implemented down here at Presque Isle. I am so excited to be talking to Jerry McGarry here about a new program it just started pretty much this year, right?
Yeah, this one's been in development for a while. We actually just got the archery equipment this year. So we got the bows, we got some arrows, and we got some targets. This is a brand new program that we're offering at the park. It's an introductory into archery. So this is something that's not really been done up here. We've tried it a couple different times, but this year it's going to be a staple in our programs.
Okay, now you say it's an intro. So if I have never, ever before in my life shot a bow and arrow, this program's for me?
Yeah, absolutely. This program is perfect for somebody that's brand new, just wanting to get into it or just wanting to try it. We have all different age types that come in. So we have kids from 3 years old all the way up to 90 years old. We've done programs for nursing homes before where we've actually shot archery. And what's really fun is, we have all the equipment, so that way you don't have to go out and spend lots of money. You can demo this stuff, see if you like it first. And we're able to set the course up. Everything's based on safety too. We always take every measure to make sure all of the program is run thoroughly and safely as we can.
Now, where are you going to be having these programs down here at Presque Isle?
One will be in the ball field, which is right past the ranger station. The other one is going to be at the Erie Bluffs.
Okay.
We're actually going to try at 2 different locations this year. I know one for sure we're going to have in May. I'm not sure exactly the date, but we have it tentatively for a Saturday in May, and then we also have one for in the fall. But those are going to be our 2 locations. One's going to be at the Erie Bluffs State Park, and one will be out here at the ball field.
Now, Jared, is this something that if it takes off, like in May, and you get a lot of calls for it, you might add some more of classes?
Absolutely. We're going to try to actually do this at least once a month in following years, as long as it takes off and everybody likes it. I've been doing this program with other parks for a long time, and it is very popular. Unfortunately, we're only able to take about 20 people at a time, just because of you have to have enough instructors for participants. But yeah, if it takes off, absolutely. We're even offering this program to scouts and schools now as well.
Someone wants to take this program, how do they find out about it? And do you have to register, or do you just show up?
Yeah, you have to register for it. That way we know how many people we're going to have. You can always call into the Tom Ridge Environmental Center, or you can also look online. If you go to Presque State Park, the DCNR website, it'll be on the events calendar, or if not, it'll be on trekpi.org.
Okay. Now, viewers, if you notice this right here, this is a wrist protector for archery, which means I have never ever in my life before shot a bow and arrow, and Jared is going to show me how easy it is.
Okay. Yeah, it's very simple, and that's another thing of as far as the safety goes.
I want to talk about this bow just real briefly. Are there different kind of bows, or is this a standard bow, which tells you I know nothing about?
This is made by Matthews. This is called a Genesis. We really like these bows because they're adjustable for weight.
Okay.
So this is pretty standard for a starter. This is good like for all different ages of people. And the nice part is you're able to adjust the weight, and it's just real simple. All you have to have is just the Allen wrench. So this is this little archer, they call it an archer's tool, where it has the different Allen wrenches, and you can either drop pounds or add pounds to it.
All right.
But one thing that we install with it, this is called a whisker biscuit. And what this does, you'll see whenever you go to shoot it, this holds the arrow in place. So that way you can turn the bow upside down, move it side to side, the arrow won't come out.
All right.
But Field and Stream has these. That's where we got all of these from. And they, you know, usually around $100 for this bow, and this bow can last you your entire life as far as shooting it.
Okay. Well, I am excited about learning how to shoot, so.
Okay,
if you can show me exactly what I'm going to have to do here.
Sure. I'll demo the first one, and then I'll let you do the second one. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
So these are our arrows. These are Genesis arrows. They're a little bit of a lighter arrow, but these are really good for kids, and this is really good out of this bow. They're actually made for it. So you can see the target down there. So the first thing we're going to do is point our feet so it's facing in front of us. So you want both feet facing out. You want your toes to be able to put the arrow and draw a line across it. So you want your toes facing this way, your shoulder pointing towards the target. When you put your arrow into the bow, make sure it's pointing downrange. Put the arrow down through, clip it onto the string till you hear that click. And you want this fletching, these are called fletchings, you want that facing out, so the white facing out. When you pull the bow back, you put 3 fingers underneath the string like this. You raise the bow up, pull it back to the corner of your mouth, and let it go.
Okay.
That simple.
Okay. I'm going to try.
Gonna give it a try?
I'm going to give it a try. All right, Jared, I've got the bow here. Now, what exactly am I going to be doing here?
Okay, so first things first is you take your arrow, put it right through that groove.
Okay.
And then push the arrow forward, knock it till you hear that click. All right, so you're ready to go.
Now, my feet have to be forward.
Yep,
you told me.
Face your feet towards me.
Okay.
So turn that one a little, there you go, just like that.
Just like that.
Point your shoulder towards the target. Pull the string back. Let it go whenever you're ready. Okay.
All right, I want to do that
Try
again.
it again.
That was not good.
That's okay.
I want to get closer.
When you pull it back, just pull it right to the corner of your mouth. You don't want to go all the way back to your ear. You just want to go right to here.
All right. Okay.
And if you want, push your arm out a little bit.
Like this?
Yep, there you go. That way it'll lock that arm in.
And I've got the 3 fingers here.
3 fingers under. Yep.
And then right to my mouth.
Right to there. Perfect. And let it go whenever you're ready. Nice. Nicely done. You want to try one more?
Yes, I do. I'm going to hit a color.
Okay.
Don't know if it's going to happen, gang, but we're going to give it a try. This is a great program. Viewers, really, it's just fun. I would bring the whole family out and do this. Okay.
There you go. Point your shoulder.
to here.
Yep. Whenever you're ready, just let the string roll right off your fingers. There you go, just like that.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Viewers, check it out. Come down and do this new program, Archery. You are really going to enjoy it. Thank you for
You're
being
welcome.
patient. You're a great teacher.
Thank
He is,
you.
by the way. Of course, when we think of Presque Isle and we think of Lake Erie, fishing will come to mind. So there's always fishing going on down here at Presque Isle. And here, our expert on fishing to tell us about it and maybe even teach me how to do some fishing is Ray Bierbauer. It's a pleasure to be in here again with you, Ray. So first off, fishing. Now, do you have just one fishing program or do you have different ones, Ray, going on down here?
We offer a variety of fishing programs all through the year.
Okay.
You know, every month we could be fishing for something out here at Presque Isle. That's what makes it so unique. There's so many different species that come into our waterways here that we can target throughout the year. As we get into the summer and stuff, some of the more panfish become what everybody wants to go for, at least around the peninsula here. Your bass, bluegill, pumpkin seeds, things like that. Those individuals that want to go out into the lake, that's where you're going to get your walleye, perch, steelhead, lake trout, stuff like that. So some of the bigger ones. But here at Presque Isle, as the waters warm up in the summertime, a lot of the smaller fish are in here, and you can just catch a variety of fish, and that's what makes us so unique. With over 100 different species here, there's something always out there.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I never realized that we had over 100 species here.
And there's stuff, you know, anywhere from the little kid that wants to get started, you can guarantee them a fish almost, to going out and you might get skunked, but you're going after something that's a little bit more challenging possibly. So it's all available here in the park in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, now, these fishing programs, would you sign up for them? How do I find out what's going on?
Through our calendar of events. So any of our fishing programs that we're hosting as a DCNR here, you would sign up online because we do take registration on those. Programs such as our Fishing 101, we might fish off of the North Pier, or our pontoon boat fishing. And then we also are available for other groups to have us come and do programs for them. So they would call the park and actually reserve the education staff for a couple hours to take their group out to fish. And we provide everything they need for that.
So you provide fishing poles?
Yes.
Bait?
Yep, we would get the bait, and some of that can be as simple as just hot dogs, worms, some grubs, depending on what we're going for again, but we have all that stuff that would be covered.
Do I have to put the grub on myself?
We encourage you to. We'll show you the first time, but after that, we would like to see. If you want to catch more fish, the participants that catch a lot of fish are the ones that bait their own hooks.
You would make me bait my own hook.
I would like to see you do it, yes. So, we use minnows too, so we show how to rig all that stuff up properly for what you're going after.
Okay, I like the Fishing 101.
Yep.
If I come to Fishing 101, this pretty much says I've never fished before. Yes. I'm not familiar with it. Yep. What are you going to provide for me?
This is kind of the introductory pole that we would use.
Okay.
A spin cast. So it's just push the button, and once you release it, the line's going to come out. We would teach you how to cast. So you would go through like our Smart Angler program, where we would teach you all the techniques, manners on the water, kind of appreciate the resource that we have, and also encourage you to teach others as you learn the skill too. So we take you through that, go over equipment, what we have, the different things that are available, and then obviously get you out there and fish and help you hone those skills. And as we go along, teach you along the way too. So most of those take about 2 hours. And we can usually get you a fish. We would start out at probably our Waterworks pond on the floating platform, catch some bluegills so that you can get used to those guys, show you how to properly remove them off of the hook, get them back in the water, rebait up, and back into the water you would go. So,
okay. All right. He makes it sound so easy, doesn't he? Okay, so you would have everything here for me.
Yep.
You have a couple fish here.
Yeah.
Are these are these species that are right here in Lake Erie?
Yes, yeah. This is a walleye, so this is part of some of our replicas. So whenever we go out to do talks on fish, we would take our mounts with us.
Okay.
So that way we can show them a general idea of what they look like. They are all fiberglass. If we take our real fish mounts, they're pretty delicate and stuff. So these are a little bit more sturdy for the younger crowd when they want to check them out.
I would be real impressed if I caught one of those.
So this is a walleye.
Okay.
And the other one I have here is a largemouth bass. So pretty popular fish that you can see. So with the big mouth, and this is something that once the bay starts warming up in June, they'll be coming in after this.
All right.
This and its cousin, the smallmouth.
So, all right, how do we find out about some of these programs again?
Log on to the calendar of events for DCNR. You can also like us on Facebook. We publish all of our stuff on there as well.
All right.
Or you can just call the park and see if we have anything coming up if you're trying to plan a trip further out and stuff.
Oh, all right.
Most of our summer stuff has been kind of put out there. At least we have dates and ideas.
Okay.
We might not have all the details, but things have been set aside.
Okay. Ray, thank you for showing this, you know, the different props here and also explaining about the fishing program. Do you think you can show me how to
Cast a pole?
cast a pole?
We can
Yeah.
cast a pole,
I don't think I've ever done that.
Okay.
I think
can
you
try
kept
that.
telling me you were going to do that, but we haven't.
Okay.
So we're going to do it
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Okay, now. All right.
Okay, so we're going to roll this over this
Okay,
side.
like this.
There's our hook ends. We
All
don't want
right.
to be swinging that around. I'm
Okay.
going to stand behind you a little
Okay.
bit.
All right.
Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to press that button in right here all
Okay.
the way. And then you're going to bring the pole back. And then as you go through your swing, at about 1 o'clock, you're going to release that button and continue with your follow through. And it's going to throw that line out there with the bait. And whenever...
And this is in a perfect world, right?
Yes, in a perfect
In
world,
a perfect world, this is going to
So
work.
This is something that we would instruct. Here we go. So, and then you want to turn the reel one time to click it so the line...
This way?
Oh, other way. There we
Okay.
go. It's clicked. So now if your bobber goes down, you...
So now when I catch that big, huge fish, it's not going to run away with
It's
my
not going
pole.
to run away on there as long
Okay.
as your drag's set right and everything like that. So
Okay, and then how do I bring this in then?
just keep cranking
going
it that
this way?
Yep, that'll bring it in. There we go. And this is a skill that we would practice before we put hooks on and stuff. We have what are called casting plugs.
Okay.
So we would put those on the poles,
All right.
and then we don't have to worry about hooks flying around everywhere.
Okay.
So then,
Ray, thank you.
Yep,
You know
so-
what? Earlier, you and I were talking that you do fishing off of the pontoon boats.
Yes.
Now, the pontoon boats, is that program still going to be running this year at Presque Isle?
Of course. It's one of our most popular
Oh, it is
programs
fun.
on here. So we have our general public rides at 11, 1, and 2.
Okay.
Folks just show up at the pontoon boat station at 10 o'clock and sign up for those. And then for any of our special rides this year, so the 2 evening rides on Wednesday or Friday, and then we're offering a special ride at 10 o'clock on some days that we do not have the night rides. You can sign up online starting Memorial Day weekend for any of those evening rides or the special 10 o'clock rides that starting then, all through the summer.
Okay,
So
that makes it easy to be able to sign up online.
yeah, it'll be easy.
Yeah.
I think if folks can plan out a
Right.
little bit more of the trip.
Yeah.
We're going to give it a try this year and see how it goes.
Well,
So,
that honestly, the pontoon boat is so much fun. Fishing is a lot of fun. It's
Yes,
a
it
great
is.
family.
it's great. We get a lot of
Family
families.
events,
It's
so yeah.
relaxing. So it's just
And
it's
you
a good
work
time.
with the Sons of Lake Erie
Yes.
also, don't you?
Yeah. If it weren't for the Sons of Lake
Aren't
Erie,
they
a lot of our
wonderful?
fishing
I
programs
know.
would not
They're
happen.
great. They're great.
So,
Ray, thank you for
Thank you.
being patient with
Yep.
me, showing me how to cast a line. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Okay.
We'll see you next time.
All right. Well, a trip to Presque Isle would not be complete without stopping at the Tom Ridge Center. And that's where we are now. And joining us is Stacy Morant. Stacy, it's so good to be on the program with you again.
It is, yeah. Welcome, Judy.
What I wanted to do is, and I don't think we've ever really done this, I wanted to just talk about an overview of what the Tom Ridge Center has to offer. So for instance, when I walk in these front doors, what events or what do you have happening under this roof?
Well, this is the Tom Ridge Environmental Center. So when you come in here, it's free admission, and anybody can come in. And we have hands-on displays about the nature that can be found at Presque Isle State Park, and also how the park, the peninsula itself, was formed. And lots of educational hands-on displays that you can learn with.
And they really are interesting, Stacy, because I know when I come, I'm just like one of the kids sitting and playing all the time with all of the displays. I know on the first floor, you've got those displays. You also have a really cool area of Presque of the past with some photos, don't you? With it's got Tom Ridge and his family.
Yes, yeah, we have some of those photos along the wall. Tom Ridge and his family actually kayaking on the lagoons.
Okay.
And we have a display called Memories and Monsters. And that is old time photos of, you know, what the people remembering coming to the park wearing wool bathing suits and how much it itched. And
well, those days have changed.
Yeah.
But there is so much here under this one roof. You also have, tell us a bit about the cafe.
Well, we have just about everything here. So when you come in, we do have the cafe, and they don't have your regular burgers and hot dogs and that kind of stuff. They actually have they have what's called like a Presque wrap, and so you can get like chicken and vegetables in a wrap. They also have vegetarian options. So it's not your normal food, it's better, and it's made fresh as you order it. So the cafe is great. A lot of the employees eat here a lot too.
I enjoy it here too. You also have a gift shop. Tell us about that.
All right. Our gift shop has lots of unique, wonderful gifts in there. Some are from actually crafters from Pennsylvania, and they sell gifts in there, and shirts, Presque State Park shirts that you can wear, and in the wintertime, sometimes hoodies and sweatshirts to keep you warm. I definitely wouldn't come in here without taking a look in there. I'm sure once you take a look in there, you'll find something that you want.
Well, there is. There's something for everyone. Now, you usually have displays periodically at the center. What are a couple of the displays that you've had?
We do. We have displays upstairs on the second floor, and they change periodically. So recently we've had the dinosaur display from Mercyhurst University.
Oh, that's a fun one.
And that a lot of people came in to see that. And then we have art shows that we have up there. We've had a senior art show on display. And also yearly, we have an art show that goes on with a different theme each year, and that'll be up for a couple of months. It changes every couple of months.
Okay. What I find interesting is when you come in this building, the architecture. Tell me a little bit about the pillars and the walkways.
Well, the Tom Ridge Environmental Center was actually designed as a LEED building, and that means it's a green building, and LEED stands for Leadership in Engineering and Environmental Design.
Okay.
And so the Tom Ridge Environmental Center has won a silver rating for that. And so like some of the things, like let's say this pillar right here, it's a steel pillar.
Okay.
And it's made from materials that are local. And since it's local, that adds to the environmental rating to go up, because you're not sourcing materials from far away, they're closer, and that's more environmentally friendly. So our steel pillars are actually trees which hold the building up. So if you can look up there, you see the steel supports.
I think that's so interesting. It really is. So you've got the architecture. Also, you have a movie theater in here.
The big green screen movie theater, they have some wonderful movies that they show on there. They had Lewis and Clark. Right now, Extreme Weather. And what we try to do at the Tom Ridge Center in our Discovery Room, which is for kids.
Okay, you even have a children's area.
We have a children's area. Lots of people come into the children's area, just for, they need to get out of the house if they're a stay-at-home mom, and they bring the kids to the children's area. They play for hours. But to go along with the movies, a lot of times we have books that go along with the movies. So we have some weather books for kids that correlate with the movie that's going on.
Oh, how nice. You also, and I know upstairs what I found interesting is you have a little nook about birds and bird watching.
Right.
And I mean, you have Adirondack chairs.
Yes,
it's cool. It's really
chairs,
cool.
Oh, the chairs that are Adirondack chairs, they're actually made out of recycled material, recycled plastic bags.
It is a green building, let me tell you. There is so much to offer here. I know even when I have family or visitors coming in from out of town, we always come and make this a stop and a visit. Is there any charge?
There is no charge, and I say the best thing is that it is free, except of course if you buy something from the cafe, there's a charge.
Right,
right,
right. And that is the cafe and also the gift shop. But to enjoy everything that you have available for anybody walking in, it's all free of charge.
It is, yes. And I encourage everyone to come. I mean, I know that there's people from Erie who have never been here.
And it really is. I mean, like I said, I've been here numerous times. I've seen the movies. I spend a lot of money in the gift shop. But anyhow, it's right here in our backyard. Really, I would say just come down and enjoy it. How can we find out different events that you have going on here at the Tom Ridge Center?
Well, there's a website. It's trekpi.org.
Okay. And you can find anything you need to know on that?
Yes, they have a movie schedule, and they also have a schedule of events on there of what the environmental educators are doing over the summer, and a lot of the other events that are going on also.
Stacy, thank you for giving us a quick overview of what happens right here in the Tom Ridge Center.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Okay, I see a concession stand. I see popcorn, which tells me the Big Green Screen Theater. And joining us is Eric Dye. And Eric, you're a projectionist.
Correct.
Here at the Big Green Screen Theater. Great attraction for the Tom Ridge Center.
Absolutely.
So how long have you been part of the family here?
I just started my first year, actually.
Okay.
I'm a bit new to the crew, but I've really enjoyed it so far. It's been a lot of fun.
I have enjoyed many of the movies here. Now, I actually, when I come to the Tom Ridge Center to watch a movie, I just have to sit down and show up. But I know there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
So, Eric, tell us a little bit about what you do in a day to get ready to be able to show the movies.
Well, showing a movie includes starting up the theater as well, of course. We have to get all the lights set up and start with the projector, get it warmed up, get all the PowerPoints that run in between the movies running, and as well as make the popcorn in the morning as well.
Well, see, that's the important job, get that popcorn made. I also know, too, you have just a different variety of movies. This show is going to be shown periodically throughout the year, but as we are interviewing, what are the movies that you're showing right now?
Right now we're showing Extreme Weather and Walking with Dinosaurs, Prehistoric Planet.
Okay, and now that was timed very nicely because every now and again you have a dinosaur exhibit right here at the Tom Ridge Center, don't you?
Yes, we do. We usually bring it back every couple of years at least. And so we always try to get a movie that pairs with an exhibit because they tend to work very well together.
Okay. Now, another thing I wanted to ask you is you do have many different movies. In fact, I've seen all three of those. Great movies, by the way. And I think anyone that you choose to come and watch is going to be a great view. How do you pick your movies? How do you select them? How do you get them? What deems the choice?
So it's a bit of a process. We have the Big Green Screen Association that gets together and reviews the current movies that are out. We screen a few of them, and then we pick as a group which one's going to be both entertaining and educational to our audience.
Okay.
And once we selected a movie, we then talk to the people who've produced the movie and get a license with them and set up a contract. And then the movie gets shipped to us in a hard drive that we then put into the projector, and then we can play it as soon as the contract allows.
So you were telling me now it's all digital.
Yes. We used to be a film theater, but in about 2012 we switched over to digital. That means we don't have to have these very, very large film reels for the large format.
And I remember seeing those. They were very big too.
Yeah, very big and very heavy. And now the whole movie comes onto a hard drive that's about that big.
Okay, this is called the Big Green Screen. Why Big Green Screen?
Well, it isn't green, although a lot of people do think it actually is a green screen, but the screen is considered green because of the building it's in, the green building.
Okay.
And it's a big screen because it's a large format, just like similar to an IMAX theater.
Okay, and it's a great setup in there. I've been in there And honestly, when you're watching the movies, it is like you are actually a part of the movies.
Yeah, our screen is almost 4 stories tall.
4 stories tall? Is it really? Is it really that tall?
It's very large, and our theater seats about 176 people.
Okay, I know it seats quite a few because I have been in there. In your day, what do you find probably the most rewarding part of your day?
Probably just seeing the enjoyment of a lot of the kids' faces who come in and they get to enjoy the movies and get interested in science and things like that. Especially for like things like the dinosaur movie, when you have kids coming in and showing their interest in these films and getting the education from it, and then that spirals onto other parts in their lives and interests in school.
And then they go home and they tell mom and dad want to come and see it.
Exactly.
Exactly, I know. I've been here with groups of kids. Now, how often do you show these movies during the day? Now, they're daily, correct? 7 days a week?
Correct, 7 days a week, and we do a show every hour. Usually our premiere movie shows about 3 times a day, and the other movies we do twice a day, and we do them all between 11 and 5.
Okay, is there usually 3 on the agenda at one time?
Yes, usually 3. Sometimes in the summer we do 4 when we bring our premiere movie, which is Mysteries of the Great Lakes, back every year, which features Presque.
See, that one, I haven't seen that one, but I think that would be a lot of fun to see. You also have specials during the holidays. Didn't you have some special movies here at Christmas time?
Yeah, mostly every year we play Polar Express, which is a really popular one, and we also do other type of holiday movies. And we try to mix it up every year, and those are usually done in the evening, and those are always really popular events.
Okay. Now, to find out what movie's playing and the times, how can they find this out?
We have our new website, which is biggreenscreen.com, and we're also on social media as well, on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Viewers, you have to come and check out these movies. They really are great. Like I said, I have seen the 3 that he's talking about, and I've seen numerous more. So, again, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for coming.
Great feature of the Tom Reed Center.
Thank you.
Driving into the Tom Reed Center, you are going to be treated to a beautiful gardens and vegetation, and it just doesn't come natural. There's a lot of work involved in this. Here today joining me is Jen Salem, and Jen is the garden coordinator. So she's going to tell us how she keeps this beautiful.
Well, it's not up to me. It's really up to my volunteers.
And we were talking about that. And I found this interesting. All of this is based on volunteer help, isn't it?
It sure is. So we are completely 100% dependent on volunteers, and we are always taking new volunteers. So they can check with the DCNR, and they'll kind of give details about my program.
You know what, Jen, the gardens here, when you come in, the vegetation is wispy and overgrown and wild.
Yep.
I love it. But it still has to be maintained, doesn't it?
It does. I think what most people don't realize is when they drive into the Tom Ridge Environmental parking lot is that we intend our parking lot to look that way. It's used for an outdoor classroom. We get lots and lots of students that come up here and take tours. They might be doing garden edibles, they might be doing pollinators, or even some tree identification classes. And it's also used as a research facility. So we have usually university students that will come in and do small mammal projects or insect and bird projects, but it does get used in kind of a unique way because it is a parking lot, but it is also an extension of our research wing in the building, and it is the largest green feature of our building.
What I found interesting, now we are in the greenhouse.
Yes.
And I'm seeing all these plants that are growing. What will you be doing with these?
Okay, well, we have a couple projects that we grow for here in the building. The first one is for the truck garden itself. So we're always reestablishing plants, putting new plants in, taking out invasive species, and then putting native plants that are found on the park. We're putting them right up here.
Okay.
But we also have a plant sale, and that is the first Saturday in June. It's June 3rd this year. And we sell some of the plants that are found up here and on the park. And so people can take a little piece of Presque home with them.
Oh my gosh, that is a great, that is fantastic.
Yep.
And I haven't been to the plant sale, but I've heard about it. How long have you been doing that?
We've been doing it for, I think, about 7 years or so. It is actually the only fundraiser that we do for the garden program, and so the money raised brings in, new equipment for the volunteers, new gloves, new wheelbarrows, which we're in need of right now. But then any incidentals that we need to, like for example, if we would need to replace a tree or something like that, that gets covered under the garden program.
Okay. You mentioned invasive species of plants.
Yes.
What are some of them, and why are they dangerous to the natural
Ooh, that's
plants?
a great question.
Okay.
So invasive species, they're kind of tricky because they look like plants. They're just regular plants.
Okay.
Often they're very attractive plants. And people don't always do a lot of research before they put something into their garden. And if they notice that something is taking over, if maybe they didn't plant something but it's there, that could be an indicator that it's invasive. And some of our common invasives here are things like purple loosestrife, which is a beautiful purple flower. If you put that in your garden, that's pretty much the only thing you'll have in about 3 years.
It's going to overtake it.
It's going to overtake everything. And then what invasive species do is they push out natural plant communities that are supporting our wildlife here locally. So if you put Japanese knotweed, if you have crown vetch in your garden, if you have some of the invasive tree species like Norway maple, that doesn't really support a lot of things that are found in this area. And if you have a choice, you'd want to put maybe a native species in or a non-invasive species, because it's going to be a little bit better behaved, and it also will have another benefit. Aside from looking great, it's going to perhaps support pollinators like a butterfly, or help with a bird population if it produces fruit. So, I mean, you really do your research, I guess, is the important thing.
And that's what I'm finding. Listening to you, there's a reason for all these plants.
Yes, absolutely.
It attracts something or detracts something.
Yep, and plants are kind of at the bottom of the food chain, but I kind of like to look at it as they are the support system for every other living thing. We talked about pollinators briefly. Pollinators produce 1 out of every 3 bites of food that we take. And they produce a lot of things that people don't realize, like coffee. If you're a coffee drinker, you would not have coffee if it wasn't for a pollinator. Or chocolate. Man, no chocolate without pollinators.
I'm for pollinators.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I wanted to ask you too real briefly is you said volunteers. How can somebody volunteer and help you with your program?
Okay, they can go on to the DCNR's website or my website, and my website is Go Native Erie. That's an organization I founded after working here as coordinator, because I realized that we don't do a lot of education when it pertains to native plant species. I was under the assumption that everyone knew what they were, and guess what? They don't. So, so now we do a lot of outreach to the community. I talk to a lot of adults and children about native species and also invasive species. And then we put a large Pollinator Week event on here that kind of focuses on pollinators, but you can't talk about plants without pollinators, and you can't talk about pollinators without plants. So it kind of goes hand in hand. It's all related.
Well, I have to tell you, Jen, I want to thank you and your volunteers. It's beautiful. It's beautiful when you drive in. The parking lot is very, very calming and so natural.
It's peaceful.
So thank you for all your hard work. And if anyone wants to volunteer and help Jen out, give her a call. Thank you so much,
thank
Jen.
you so much, Judy. I appreciate it.
There you have it. There's something for everyone. There are great programs, great activities, great classes. So come on down, join us at Presque. See what they have to offer right here in our own backyard. Thank you for joining us on the Government Channel. Until next time, have a wonderful day. And also, don't forget to get out and play.
You're watching the Millcreek Government Channel, powered by WQLN Public Media.